Hi, welcome back to ODE YouTube channel. Today I'm here for a pens for July of 2024. I just went to my videos, to my channel list, and found out that my last video of the pens for the month was made in 2022, in July 2022, and I guess that was the place in time, the spot in time where all my life decided to go into kind of a chaos where it kind still is, but I will try to talk about that in a future Friday night pen thoughts, because I think I should tell you something about that. So it was it. I really want to get back to this activity. I want to get back to the channel. This is good for me, and that's it. What happens is that I have a few pens, not that many. I usually have lots of pens. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13. I'm not sure if I counted correctly. So there are not that much pens. I have much more pens inked, because some were inked for over a year and some of those have dried ink inside. So I'm restarting a process of re-cleaning some of those pens and re-inking some, because I like to write with them. So that's what it is. So these are the pens that are inked with, let's call it fluid ink and not dried ink. So let's start. I don't want to make this a very long video, although I like long videos. I know some of you too, because you stay there and watch me. But I don't want to make this too long. It's like relearning to make videos. So this is let's go with the first pen. So the first pen is, I'm starting with the alphabetical order. The first pen is Kaweco from Germany, and you already know my love for this brand. And the first pen I have here is the Kaweco Collection Apricot Pearl, which is a kind of a recent release, and it has a kind of a pearly shine to it. It's not easy to describe or to show on camera. As far as I remember, I didn't make the review of it. The pens that I already reviewed, I'll list down below the link for where you can buy the pen, and also the link for the review. I don't think I already reviewed this one, but I will try to get back to this activity. So let's see if it will focus. It doesn't like to have no focus point here. So how can I do it? Maybe I'll put it like this. Let's see, if I have a first line written, maybe it's easier for the autofocus. So let's start. This first pen is the Kaweco Collection Apricot Pearl, and this one has a medium steel nib, gold plated. And it is a very interesting pen, very nice finish, and it has inside, that was not a skip of the pen, I twisted it, it is Kaweco Sunrise Orange. Okay, there it skipped. Maybe it's because it has ink inside for kind of some time and it's not used to write anymore. So it has this color that I find very interesting, and I think it goes well with the pen. So this is the first pen. It is a recent release from this year, and it makes part of this Kaweco Collection series, and this one takes the form of a Kaweco Sport, which I like. The next pen is also a Kaweco Sport, and it's this one. This is kind of an expensive pen. It is the Eonite Sport, which has that beautiful look. It is a recent, kind of a recent release also. It is a cartridge pen like the regular Sport, and it's nice. It comes with a steel gold-plated nib. It's made of ebonite. It's more expensive than the regular Kaweco Sport, and that is a cause for some criticism amongst pen collectors, but that's what it is. This is the Kaweco. I made a review of this one. Ebonite. Oh, let's say ebonite because it's like this. It's not ebonite. Sport. I hope it's all in focus. And this one has a medium steel nib. And the ink inside, this one ink that I really like, which is Kaweco Caramel Brown, which is a very dark shade of brown that I really like. It's not a reddish brown. I usually don't love reddish browns, but this is a very beautiful pen. So we'll go for another Kaweco. It is the final Kaweco of the day, and this is the Piston Sport. You all saw this pen recently in many channels. Also my channel, I also made a review. I had it sent to me by Kaweco in an early release. You can see there Kaweco on the piston. It has this little blind cap protecting the piston mechanism. It has an integral clip to the cap, and it has a steel nib. This one is a fine, and you have an ink window where you can see the ink through it. Let's post it as I usually do with Kaweco Sport, and let's write. This is the Kaweco Piston AL Sport Black, with, my handwriting is getting worse each time, with a fine nib. This nib is very, very smooth. I don't know if they took extra attention for the Piston Sport, but this nib is extra smooth. And inside it has the most common Kaweco Royal Blue ink, which is a royal blue ink. It's just that, a very simple, well-behaved, very straightforward ink. It has nothing really special about it. It's just a very good ink that I enjoy. I hope the exposure is correct on the paper and you can see the colors. I've been so away from the channel for this kind of videos where I have things to expose things over a white background that I don't really know anymore the best settings. The next pen is a pen that I enjoy. It's fun, but I had a problem with it and I have to show it to you, and that's, maybe I'll try to sell it. This is the Marlin AOS, which is a very interesting pen made of celluloid, and it is a coin filler. It is a pen that I bought second-hand, and it had some heat on it, some time on its life, and it is curved there. It's not straight, it makes a curve like this. But recently I just found that there is a crack developing on the cap. I think you can see that. The material is beautiful, but there is a crack there. That's a reason why I don't really love celluloid, because it's not kind of a forever material, and it has that crack. I'm pretty sure it's not a crack all the way through the material. It's kind of half of the thickness of the cap, I would say, and I think that can be easily filled with some kind of glue and then polished, but I don't know if I want to do that kind of work. I don't know if I want to keep the pen like this, and maybe I'll try to sell it. Maybe someone that watches the channel may be interested, and I may sell this pen for someone else. It is an interesting pen. It is an Italian pen, which is fun. So this is the Marlin AOS in silver. There is also a version with gold finish. This one is silver. These metal parts are made of silver. It has a gold nib, but it is palladium or something plated in a matte finish. with a fine gold nib, and the ink inside is roller and cleaner, and it's also skipping a little bit. Not all my pens are in bad condition. As I told you, I may had some ink dry inside the pens and they have these kind of problems. Sorry about that. I'll try to make it better for the next time, but that's my reality right now. So this is a roller and cleaner, and this is the verdigris color, which is kind of a very dark teal color. This pen usually writes well and smooth, but it seems to have skipped a little bit there. Maybe because I had my hand over the paper, or because the ink is kind of dry inside. As I told you, some of those pens have been just laying around with ink inside. It's not good for them, and sometimes ink starts to dry and affects the ink flow. Another pen, and this one is going with me for work for many days. This is a Parker pen, which I really like, and this is the Parker Maxima Duofold. These are the Duofolds from the UK, and it is a very beautiful pen with a beautiful nib, as you can see, with the arrow engraved. So Parker Maxima Duofold in red with, I would say it is a fine nib. It doesn't have it written there, but I think I would call it a fine. And ink inside is one of my favorite inks ever, the Montblanc Racing Green. It is a discontinued ink. There are some replacements. Maybe I'll make a video about those replacements someday. It looks really like a black ink, but it's not. It's a very dark muddy green, and I love this ink. I still have some stock at home because I bought lots of bottles when I knew they would be discontinued. So, but it's not stock just to have it, it's to use it, and if I was smart enough I would sell them because I would get some money to buy new pens, I guess. The next pen is kind of a Parker, is this one. This one is a beauty, and it is a beast regarding its weight. It has a modern nib, as you can see, and this one comes from the United States, and this is the Parker Senor Duofold. Let's see how I call it. Copper replica by Chris Thompson. This one has a review on the channel, and this pen really is a replica by person in the United States that makes pens to the real specification they had back in the day. This is a replica of a 1920s Parker Duofold pen with all their usual looks. It even has the blind cap here for the button filler mechanism. The pen is really nice. It's all made of solid copper, but the only difference between this pen and the vintage one regarding the material is that this one has a modern Parker Duofold nib. Not modern from a current, but a modern from a few years ago nib. So this is a very interesting pen. It's very heavy, 128 grams. So this one has a fine nib, and inside it has Leonardo Officina Italiana Noce Moscata, which means nutmeg. And it has this kind of thing. And there is another interesting thing, but I don't know if it's the weight of the pen that helps. I can get some line variation with this nib. This pen is really amazing. I polished it a few days ago, and then it gets all tarnished and very beautiful. I would say it's beautiful both ways, tarnished or completely shiny like it is now. So we will go from from Parker to, yes, Pilot. And this is a pen that I would say it's very similar to the Parker Maxima Duofold. The clip, this one has a few more rings, but it's actually the same kind of feel. It is a very nice pen. I forgot to say, this is a aerometric pen. This one is a button filler or a cartridge pen. Right now it is working as a cartridge. Let me show you. But I can install here the rubber sack and the pressure bar and make it a button filler again. So it's just interchangeable. And so this one is the Pilot Costume 743. I really like this pen. It's beautiful. So this is the Parker Costume 743 in verdigris color. This is a color that was made for the United States. It was an exclusive edition. This one has an extra fine nib, which is really fine, and it may feel a little less smooth in some papers, but this one is usually next to my bed inside the drawer with a big book, like kind of a journal. It's not a daily journal, but a place where I jot down some ideas, and this pen lives there just to write on that big notebook. So this one has inside the regular Pilot blue. This one is a cartridge converter pen, and inside it has the popular Con 70, and it is a really fine pen. I really like it. I like the color, I enjoy it, so good pen for me. The next one is another Pilot pen, and this one, let me see if it will write immediately. This is a Pilot Elite. It is kind of a more recent release. It has this Elite nib that you can usually find, but it is a full-size Elite, not the pocket-size Elite. Let me see if it writes. Oh, I made a mistake. It is a Pilot, not... yeah, sorry. It's a Pilot, not a Parker. And so this one, let me see if it writes. This one tends to dry in the cap. This is the Pilot. As you can see, it skipped, which is very annoying. Pilot, and it skips lots of times. Pilot Elite, and let's call it full size. And it has, I would say, kind of a fine nib, but it is a costume nib. So if you know what the costume nib really means on these pens, please let me know, because there were some other names for the nibs, and you can see there, costume Pilot. So what does it mean? And inside, you can see it skips. It annoys me a lot, but I cannot really do anything about it. I think it's about the cap sealing mechanism, and many times I have to go to the converter and just to... I need to push ink further into the nib section. So this has Parker Quink Black, which is one of my favorite inks also, but very regular and normal ink. You can see it starts skipping, and I don't really know. I got this pen, is quite recent. I just polished it a little bit to take some scratches, but maybe there is still something, maybe on the feed. Maybe I need to flush it better. You can see there is no ink coming out after a while, and I can't understand why that happens. This pen annoys me a little bit, and it's not, and this is not because it stayed there without writing. This pen has been in use, and it just skips. Now it's writing again. So I need to find out what happens with this pen. I think it is kind of nice, it's beautiful in my collection, but it's getting to annoy me, and I will show you another pen that annoys me also. The next pen is, no, not this one. It is a Sailor pen. This is a wonderful pen. This is Sailor, king of pen, with a very big number 8 nib. So this is the Sailor, king of pen, and you can see in this pen, if you want, you can take some line variation, and the color is the Mandarin yellow. It is a plastic pen with a medium nib, and inside it has the Sailor and Ink Traveler, which is a Spanish store from where I bought this pen, exclusive ink, which is called Naoshima Con, and it is an interesting blue. This pen is really wet, it writes really well, it has a very pleasant Sailor kind of feedback. I really like this pen, with no pressure, with some pressure. This pen is really amazing. The nib is beautiful, 21 karat gold nib, and it is a cartridge converter pen. The next pen is another pen that writes wonderfully well. It is a Sheaffer, and I like it a lot. This is the Shaer Legacy 1, and the finish is linear black with a medium nib, very juicy nib, and the ink inside is favorite of mine, also discontinued, Sailor Gentle Soten, which is kind of I'm not sure, a very dark turquoise. It has a beautiful gold nib. It is either a cartridge converter pen, or it is how is it called, a touchdown, and I'm using it as a touchdown filler now. So it has both conversion parts to do that, and this pen writes really well, smooth. It is a very good pen that I bought used for around 30 euros, so it was a very great buy. And there are only two more pens. One is this one, this printed pen that you already saw in my channel in another color, but then I had a problem with the part, my fault, and he sent me all the plastic parts and I just exchanged the nib. So this pen is the Titan Pocket. This is a pen, the brand Titan is a brand by William Shakur. You'll find him on Instagram. He makes very interesting things in 3D printing. You have this nib, number 8 titanium nib by Bock, and this is a fine titanium nib, and ink inside is the Parker Quink red, some vintage ink that I have around. It is just kind of a very regular red, which has the problem it bleeds a little bit in, it feathers a little bit in some papers. It is almost empty, as you can see, and because it is a titanium, you can have some line variation like the Sailor, and it is a piston filler. So this is a very interesting pen in this gray color, and you can make it in many other variations. And finally, this is one of my most expensive pens, alongside with the Sailor King of Pen, and this one is kind of a disappointment in a way, because it has the same problem as the Pilot Elite. It stops writing, the feeding of ink into the nib is not good enough. I will try different inks, I'm still in the process of trying, but it is a beautiful pen. You can see this gold nib is really, it's really something. This pen is amazing, it's big, I love the design of this pen. This was one of my grail pens. I don't have a review of it yet, but I have a video of when I purchased it. And this is the Waterman Edson. Now it's writing well, but let's see for how long. In emerald green. This one has a medium nib made of gold. The nib is actually only this part of the structure, but then it is continued by this gold piece until there, and it is a cartridge converter pen, and it has this very beautiful green color. I really like it. And this ink is my everyday writing ink, Parker Quink Black. And so here you can see it. So these are the pens that I had for today. I don't want to, I know maybe this is kind of disappointing, not that many pens. Maybe I failed a little bit in showing all the details, to having the right rhythm of showing the video. But I've been away of this kind of videos for a very long time. I mostly do unboxings now, and they are not really fulfilling for me. It's nice to make an unboxing, they give me lots of views, but they are not the kind of video that I really want to make regularly. So sorry about that. I will try to come back to my regular thing. So sorry if this was not all what you expected. The color choices are not that big. One orange, several browns, one red, many blues, and one black. So it's not that many variation, but that's what I have right now. So right now I have to thank you all for watching. Thank you for your patience, because I know I'm not doing my best. I'm not saying that I do great videos, I'm just saying this is not my personal best, and I want to go back to that and even improve if I can, but I think I will still need some time. So this is pens for July. My next big achievement is if I will be able to make the pens for August, and this will be a sign that I can keep up with the rhythm of the channel, and that's really important for me, and I'll talk about that in Friday Night Pen Thoughts. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and you'll be back for more videos, and I will for sure, or at least I will try really hard to come back. So see you next time. Bye.